Well, ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And it is that time of week, folks. We have for you today a beautiful game coming out of our Asia division of the Steel Division League here on the bloody, yet beautiful town of St. Mary Glees. Who do we have, Rang?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Protosszocker as the 2nd Infantry Division. And on the right-hand side in red, we have DuroSVK as the 91st Luftlande Division.
Gonna be kind of fun. Now, I do want to give a quick shout out here. Actually, Rang, I'm sure you would agree with me on this.
Of course.
Now, Protosszocker is the guy who's been putting together all of this league, so let's give him a warm welcome to this. I mean, I'm hoping for the best in both players in this one, but we definitely want to give a quick shout out to this guy. This guy's done a lot of great work for the community, so Protoss, thank you very much from over here in North America.
And a lot of tournaments before as well. Like, he's done,
exactly.
Like, a lot of tournaments in the summer as well. Like,
he's a real trooper. He's a real trooper, and we have to doff our helmets to him a little bit.
And he's playing the, like, you know, the real trooper infantry division of rangers and rifles and, you know, like good old American stuff. And just looking at the deployment, I mean, we've got, you know, a good mix of rangers and like regular rifle dudes all around. We've got the pre-CD down south, the T-30 in mid, the Ranger Assault in middle as well as the mortar. So I think it's going to make a pretty big play for the town. For Duro, it's going to be a bit more interesting because, you know, for the town fight, Feldjägers are great, but they're not great in CQC, especially against flamethrowers. And on the flanks, you know, very infantry focused, got the Panzerschrecks, got the Ersatztruppen, no real armor at all from Duro, but that's not really surprising considering, you know, you're playing 91st Luftlande. It's pretty infantry focused and support gun focused for most of it. And airplane focused too, you got like big flying B3s. It's like
exactly.
It's like a flying Def Pack 40.
So we are going to get ready to go in just a second. I do want to make a quick call out, though. He does just basically have Ersatztruppen right up the middle. He's got no Fallschirmjägers there.
Huh. Oh yeah. That's gonna be an interesting fight over that town. Just all Ersatztruppen.
I do want to ask, do you really like the T-30 in the middle?
It's a bit of an odd play because it is very, you know, lightly armored. But if he can lock down that road at least, it does provide pretty decent infantry fire support with 9 HE value.
For me, I guess I was thinking either you stick it in that little arrowhead, let's call it, just to the west of the town, that forest that's right there, or you put the priest in the middle. You don't put the T-30.
Yeah, I'd say the priest would be better down south just due to the range and whatnot.
Interesting. Okay.
I know we're gonna see. I gotta see how he uses it because, you know, without, you know, a turretless vehicle in a town never really goes too well. It doesn't even have a machine gun.
That's actually also true. It's very, very true. I was even thinking about that. Now, we are going to see first shots coming on out. I think the T-30 is just at the edge of the range, and he might get picked off.
Yep, our Pack 40 is in lovely position just to shoot down that road, and he just backs off just in time to get out of that Pack 40's kill zone.
But the Pack 40 is going to stumble into the 60 mils kill zone if he's not careful.
And pretty light from either side. No real crazy pushes or russes. I mean, both playing infantry divisions, so it's not like half-track autocannon rush that's going to happen. But, you know, both sides is taking our territory and holding it for now.
But tell me, how do you think the Red Men's going to match up against the 91st here?
I think the town would definitely go more towards his favor. Early on, just because Ranger are social infantry. Later on, you have to worry about Pioneer, so it's going to be a bit back and forth in the town. On the flank show, it's going to be able to use, you know, vehicle fire support such as Sherman to try and get the lead. As we've seen up north, the Feldjägers are just tearing apart Protossocker's rifles. And I just want to count, we got 3 out of 8 Feldjägers on the field so far, so... That's
2 more coming in, actually 1 more's coming in right now, so 4.
So that's half of them. But that's pretty standard, I'd have to say. You know, 2 to 4 in a phase or at one time. You do like we've seen in a previous match, some dude got all the Feldjägers in a phase and then ran out of good infantry for the rest of the match.
True.
You always got to be very, you know, conservative with the Feldjägers. Got to try to keep them alive as long as possible.
I know this is nitpicky, but I don't really like the position of the HMG to the north. It's got absolutely no field of fire.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
And again, Protoss, I'm not even going to pretend to be a great player, but just not particularly enthusiastic about it.
But it's going to be fighting pretty well against Feldjäger. I'm not a big fan of the M1990 to begin with. Oh, damn, the Ranger leader gets in close and Look,
Saptor
yeah,
charges of
Saptor
Jesus.
charge.
Yes,
Damn.
sir.
I never really seen a range usually use the Saptor charge to begin with, but that's going to be forcing the Feldjäger to run back home.
Definitely seems true. Now, down to the south, not a whole lot's going on. In fact, the DD is not shelling anything. Neither is the T-30.
Yeah. The T-30 is really, like, cut out because of our Pak-40 down the road. You'd probably want to try and, like, string it up north a bit to, you know, get a flank on the Ersatz as well as the Feldjägers up north.
Well, the Ersatz don't seem to be holding up too well. I mean, they are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, i.e. being meat shields. There's 2 squads coming in right now as well, but... Okay, never mind. We have a field cannon coming on in too, so that'll be a nice return.
And the southern side of the town is starting to look a little bit red as the Feldjägers are making their way through, but 3-star, 60mm mortar, he kind of just pins down everything extremely quickly, as we can see.
There's another one of those up north as well, so domo arigato, Mr. Morotato. That got away from me. It really got away from me.
That was far, but I you know, it's the same farness as how, you know, American artillery. I mean, 900 meters for 60mm mortar, really getting your bang for your buck here.
Well, you know, that's what we like to do in the U.S. You know, it's price efficiency, man. So, you know,
Exactly.
Range and punch, that's what we want to do.
Stars, you got the stars as well. I mean, you got star on your flag, you got stars on your mortars. It makes logical sense.
Yeah, it does. Now, one thing I do want to be giving a quick call out to, it's actually kind of fun to watch a one-on-one fight from close range between Fallschirmjägers and rifles.
Oh, wow.
If you ever want to see a comparison of the unit strength between the two, the rifles have to fall back despite being in green cover.
And also the rifles have, like, it's actually not that much better CQC damage compared to the Feldjägers, surprisingly. But yeah, that veterancy makes a huge difference, as we
Yes,
can tell.
it does. Now, up to the north, Germans are falling back in disarray. That 60mm mortar doing exactly what it's supposed to do, i.e. shell the bejesus out of any German position.
Yeah. And that's really like the one major weakness of Feldjägers early on. Not just SMG troops or close range troops, but light mortars like that. Just, I mean, the Feldjäger's nice when they're shooting in a tree line at long range, but when you get mortared, you can't really shoot back. You can't really kill a mortar with Feldjägers.
I guess that's why they are dropping anti-tank torpedoes on mortar positions.
Oh, okay, I saw ya.
And also, there's an IG-18 out here. I'm not sure where he's aiming. I'm guessing he's probably going to be aiming a little bit further to the south. Yes, he is. Alrighty.
But the town, it's really just kind of bloody back and forth with Feldjägers and Ersatz Truppen being thrown into the fray. I really don't think it's going to be till maybe B phase when Duro can really shore it up. And for now, it's going to be about Protoss using his Ranger so efficiently to try and just getting close, but it doesn't seem to be the case, and the Feldjäger's getting some very nice 40M long-range firefights.
That is true. Now, T-30 in the meantime is starting to shell that IG-18 and probably might even take it out. There it goes.
Damn, pretty good kill there. And that Messerschmitt continuing to do some good old strafing runs.
Yeah, you know, I haven't done the testing on this, so maybe you can probably help me out, but the suppression reduction that happens against buildings from airplanes, I think he sees I was just saying, he sees a fair bit of infantry out in the open. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep your guys in buildings. That's pretty much rule number 1 of town fights. Rule number 2 of town fights is you smoke.
And rule number 3 is shell everything until there is no more town.
Exactly. That's the rough ramen rule.
That you're right. It's the Wolf Ramen corollary.
Yeah, Protosszocker is going to be bringing out a big old 107mm mortar, so that's just going to be a real good job at knocking out the Pak-40, Feldjägers, etc. But the horde of Ersatz Truppen are making their way downtown, and the Ranger so doing the same thing, getting in close, lovely positions to burn Feldjäger Furies, never mind, the Feldjäger Furies has to fall back, and unfortunately Ranger's going to be using all their ammo in that one 10-point Ersatz Truppen squad, which isn't that good.
Not to detract from what you're saying, but you're absolutely right. The Ersatz Truppen are making their way downtown, walking fast, and they're homebound. But they'd walk 1,000 miles if they can just shoot you tonight. So, You know, this game makes me... I never realized I'd come up with some of these references. We do have an MG34 placed a bit back from the lines, and whenever I see a machine gun on the field, and we saw it once a little bit earlier this week with a different game, I'm always surprised, because you never expect to see a support team set up.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't like using support guns as much anymore, like MG42s, whatnot. I prefer to have a half-track or vehicle instead. But the 34 is... You know, the long range definitely helps out. It's actually pinning down that Ranger Assault right now, which is pretty decent. But the main problem is it's hard to move up an attack again because they really went for the defense.
That is true. Now, they are shoving this T-30 down to the south, which is interesting as all hell to me. Yep, go for it.
Oh, and up north we do have that Sherman being brought out, and I think we may see a breakthrough up north.
Yeah, Ulig is dead. But that Pack 40 might be just barely enough to keep an eye on that northern crossroads.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. At the same time, mortars on the field that may, you know, keep the Pack 40 at bay. What I'm kind of concerned about is Duro. I haven't actually kept count, but he's used up quite a lot of Outshakers already, and he's lost like a few too.
No, he's tapped on it. I'm pretty sure he's tapped.
And you can win later on if you don't have Outshakers, but it's ideal that you try to keep him alive for the majority of the match or have some in spare for sea phase.
That is also true. Now, more anti-tank rockets going in again, going after the... Ooh, he went after the wrong mortar, though.
Yeah. Oh, pre-CD goes down to the B3.
I actually wasn't paying attention to that. Good call.
Yeah, and damn, that's a damn good kill. Isn't it a pre-CD? You know, didn't really do anything. At least he's off the map. And that's a rather expensive investment, buying the B3 as well as the Messerschmitt 109 and A phase. That's like 380 points.
That's true.
Airplanes.
But you do know that the Americans are going to bring in more vehicles. I mean, the second infantry does power up quite a bit in the vehicle side of things.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like a light tank division, just thanks to all the Shermans and some Wolverines that they can get. And, you know, against Luftlande, they don't really have much in terms of armor, so Shermans are going to be perfect in the first port road. And in the middle, we do have some Stern Pioneers being brought in to burn that town down, and some more Ranger Assaults from Protosszocker, as well as some more mortars. So a real back and forth over that town.
Well, and we did see two M1919s being brought on, and one of them has already gone on down. And I don't know if that is a consequence of the small unit count, or if that was just the weight of fire, but it seemed like it died awfully quickly.
Yeah, it's not... Like I said, I don't really like using sport guns, especially M1919, so it's not that great of a machine gun to begin with. I mean, the veterancy helps out because it's a Ranger squad, but I'd much rather have a Ranger support squad, to be honest. Because they got two M1919s instead of just one.
That's true.
Tripod, but nonetheless, in the middle, SS troop and some, or flamethrower troops, not Stern Pioneers, my bad, are making their way, and I think his town's gonna become red pretty shortly.
That seems pretty accurate. Better red than dead is what the Germans are saying. At the same token, though, he's really getting slowed down to just getting those air such trooping coming on in instead. That's all he's really got at the moment to really hold the line.
Yeah, and actually, a Run Ranger show managed to keep his Fallshakers and flamethrowers back, which is pretty surprising. It's like a wall of fire, quite literally, around that Ranger show. It's kind of like keeping everything at bay for now. But
well, between that and the mortar shells coming down constantly, this is the poster child for using your indirect fire for defense.
Yep, and 2nd Infantry, I mean, they're like one of the best artillery divisions, the sheer amount of mortars and artillery they can get. And the 60 mils, I mean, the 2-star veterancy with a fast firing mortar is just deadly against, you know, targets in a town. And the T-30 does go down to a Pack 36.
Yes, but unfortunately it was not within 300 meters, so god damn it, no Stilgranate 41.
We're never gonna see it be used. Like, I want to see that Stilgranate too, but it's just, it never happens.
Players are just too good to keep masking the freaking units. Anyway, you were going to say.
We got a Panzer 39, and that's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
pretty tough customer for now until Commandant for Sherman comes into the middle. But nonetheless, a bit of vehicle fire support from the Germans, and it's still a stalemate for this town. I mean, Duro really didn't try and knock out his mortar pieces. That's really hindering from making any major progress.
Now, two things. One, I'm a little bit disappointed to see that PZ has not been trying to use the absolute northern edge of the map. Of course, we know we have God view, but you have to know that you have all this infantry there, and it's a very, very minor bump. So you know there's not a lot of enemy, reinforcements.
And now he should see. Oh look, my bump's just gotten 2 times wider. Let's see if I can make some progress. And that's what he's doing. He's just waiting for the rifles to get in front before committing the Sherman, which, makes sense. Don't want to be rushing in a tank head first. And that is also that's one of the problems with infantry divisions in general is that it's hard to exploit a breakthrough as well as a panzer division because you don't have half tracks to rush in. But we're going to be seeing some nice music being brought down, Khan.
Are we? Are we actually going to hear some lovely xylophones, I believe?
And the Germans got some big Russian guns on the field to counter battery Protosszoker's artillery pieces, so...
Da, comrade, I was actually going to make that call when you were talking to me about all that heavy percussions coming our way. So, call it though. Is he going to shoot and try to hammer the town, or is he going to start hammering the eastern side of the town? So, artillery park or front lines?
For the Russian guns or for the xylophone?
It's for the xylophone.
I think
the duck just went down. Ooh.
Damn, that was a good kill, knocking out that duck. And it was still rather chunky on supply. So that's a lot of logistics they're not going to get back. But I think for the xylophone, he's probably just going to try and hit directly on the town, essentially. Be free, going for the M4, too much AA on the field, and it's not going to really get much done.
Well, he's aiming, he's firing, it's up, and it's going for the town.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's hell.
Damn.
Oh my god, that's hell.
That was some music to my ears, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And that's gonna... Too bad he can't really exploit it, because doesn't have much infantry in the town, but nonetheless...
This is always silly to me too, but whenever I see a direct hit by an artillery piece onto anything, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So that Bofors was untouched. One salvo and it died.
Yeah, those Russian guns, you do not mess with them. They have 23 HE, and they still have 2.6 kilometer range. They are just... I mean, you talk about, the long range not IG-18s. What's the long range German artillery piece?
The LAFH, the 18. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. People talk about that, but this SFH 396 bracket R bracket, you don't mess with a name like that.
That is true. The specification says it all. A lot of alphanumerics. You know they must be serious.
Yeah.
B3 is back for more. If he takes out that Sherman, I don't know. Will that be enough?
Too much artillery still in the field for the Americans, and yeah, it doesn't kill the Sherman, unfortunately. But you got a 105 howitzer, still have the xylophone.
Gabby,
here we go. Bro,
Gabby, he's our man. If he can't shoot him down, no one can. Yay, Gabby!
Did you just make it up right now?
Yes, I did.
Holy crap!
Yes, I did.
Good thing you.
Yes, he's dead. Down with Gabby!
People who don't know why we're so excited about seeing Gabby. Gabby is the one hero unit that never dies usually because he's an extremely fast plane. But that's the 3rd time we've probably seen Gabby die.
In 60 games.
In 60 games, and we usually see Tiger Rittman die every match. So yeah, there's our reference.
Every German tanker, really. It's not just Tiger Wittmann. It was Horst Ramst with the Panzer IV, and oh my god, the center of this town.
And the town's just everything's pinned down is really the best way to put it. It's just an absolute slog here. But the main thing is Protosszocker at slow +1 point advantage, and holding that whole northern point has definitely done him wonders.
That is true. Now, interesting enough to me, it's always kind of funny to me to see anti-tank ground attack planes go after each other. It's not quite a wet noodle contest, but I don't know, the water's definitely boiling.
We do some pot noodles right now, to be entirely
That
honest.
is true.
God.
Well, you finally got that cooker. That cooker finally came in for you, so...
Yeah, I know. You know,
food on the go.
I mean, you can have... You know, for you guys who don't know, I have a kettle that plugs into my car. It takes 20 minutes to boil water, but if everyone pot noodles, to get out the boot of the car, got the kettle, here we go.
Instant tailgate.
Yeah.
I do have to say, make a call as well. So see those two Fallschirmjäger units to the southwest in the middle of the whole depression zone? Click on each, and you have like Battle of Britain... Excuse me, Battle of Berlin levels amount of ammunition on those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite surprising seeing the machine guns still have ammunition, because they're usually the first jet run out. But, damn, that's pretty nutty, using up that much ammo so quickly.
Also, oh my gosh, and apparently the Germans don't like music, taking out the xylophone with an artillery strike. Oh my gosh.
Those Russian guns, you don't mess with those Russian guns, Khan.
Oh, jeez. These guys have been MVPs. They've been they're taking, let's say, moderate suppressor fire from that 105 in the back. But I don't know if he's going to be able to take out both of those guys.
Yeah, that is a good point. And good use of air power from Duro too. I mean, you know, killed Gabby, of course, but you know, he's trying to get those rocket runs and B3 runs. So the unfortunate thing right now is Protoss has, you know, pretty decent SIA net. I mean, he's got like Ron Bofors. Is it just Ron Bofors?
The other one got taken out by the 396s.
Yeah. He's got an M15 now, but yeah.
The M15 is always such a, let's say, hit or miss vehicle for me.
Yeah, it's very expensive, but it does do quite a lot of damage though. I mean, it does 18 airplane damage. You know, to be fair, the 50 cows only have 200 meter less range. But I'm more of a Bofors guy. It's a bit more affordable. You know, it's got that classic branded name to it. I mean, Bofors are still used today, so that shows how bloody good they are.
That's true. That's true. You know, to be fair, I mean, had the Germans not been disarmed, I'm pretty sure BMW would still be making planes today.
Exactly.
But like you were saying before, the Fallschirmjägers are dying one by one. And there's not a whole lot being used to kind of replace them.
No, it's just Ersat troop, and I haven't seen any pioneers, which is very surprising because pioneers and 91st Luftlande go pretty well. Hopefully these guys being brought out are pioneers, maybe. I don't know, we'll have to see, I guess. But up north, I think Duro is going to try and make a push to try and secure this northern flank, as that's quite a bit of territory lost in that area. It's got like what, Stug 3 and a Mortar 2, as well as some recon units.
I missed a Stug. How did I miss the Stug? There we go. Okay.
It's just up north. It's nothing really too crazy, but definitely enough to try and make something happen. The real difficult thing is that Sherman's in a rather sneaky position.
That's always shocking because you know, as Americans, we can never keep still about anything. So.
Exactly. Gotta be loud and proud.
That's a polite way to put it.
Loudness for their guns.
That's a very polite way to put it. Now we have a couple of Me-109s just running combat air patrol. I don't know. I feel like he's trying to unmask the Sherman. And it's going to be B3 time. Because that DD is gonna he's wide out in the open.
Yeah.
Off map Colin coming in from the Americans as well. That's, I can't remember, 203s, right?
203s. That's going to be a pretty good town clearer unit, right? Yeah.
Especially the Germans have no idea it's coming.
Exactly. And it's usually the 91st Luftlande, you know, getting in 380 railway artillery.
I'm shocked. We're still not seeing any B3 play. Now, the 105 howitzer realizes that he probably needs to be a little more circumspect, falling back in the face of just this devastation. And the Me-109s, did he get the shot off?
No.
No, he's not going to kill yet.
Big disadvantage having the 109 so close to one another, because flak fire actually stunned both of them up. Because it does have that slight ARE damage, so not the best position. But up north, damn good. Well, I would say it's a pretty good rocket run, but he kind of killed his own guy. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't kind of kill his own guy. He totally did. Falling back.
Goes in.
Wounded.
He's definitely gonna be able to go in and get the kill with the Stug.
Well, if he doesn't, the Fusiliers are still there too.
Yeah, or surrender, maybe.
Show me anti-tank grenade. Probably not, but still.
Probably not. I think it's just gonna be Stug life here.
P-47 might get taken down. Wow.
Wow. It's wow. You don't get into a turn 5 of Messerschmitt, I guess.
Okay, I did want to point out the B3 was firing at the Sherman, and I hand to God, I saw a bounce come off. I thought it hit that the M1919, and I realized there's a Stoke right there, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, I've never seen a bounce kill somebody before, but I can imagine it might happen somehow.
Mate, I have no idea if that's these modelled or not. That'd be definitely an interesting thing, because like when a plane crashes, it can kill a unit that it lands on.
Yeah, I remember that game actually still when we cast that. I was so stunned when it happened for the first time. But artillery coming dead center of the map, this is going to hurt.
Oof, and just look at how clumped up everything is. And I really don't think... I think Duro is going to start running out of infantry. I'm not seeing Pioneers or Grenadiers. He only really has Ersatz Truppen. And, you know, Ersatz Truppen die pretty easily.
This B3 is wildly out of position now.
Yeah, I would not really be able to get out in time. That's the better question. Oh, 109's definitely going to screen for him, so... Yeah,
they'll start shooting for those guys instead. And there's, again, they're good wingmen for themselves and for the B3.
Yeah. And you always want to have 109s on standby and bringing in B3s, because the B3s have pretty much no defensive armament. You need to have fighter planes nearby, or really good AA net to keep those pesky allied planes at bay.
That is true, but you know what? The Germans are kind of like Bruno Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So don't you know they would catch a grenade for their bro? And I'm shocked. We've not made that reference yet.
they would also jump in front of a train, but in this case, railway artillery.
That is also true. That is also true. They are good wingmen.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Wolverine up north, 2 stars to try and deal with that 2 stars Stug. And I think Duro's starting to, you know, we've got momentum back, +1 point advantage. He's going to need a +2 to take the victory. And I think that maybe in his reach is moving quite a lot of guys up north. In the middle, could this be the Pioneers that I've been hoping to see?
It might be, but I can't help but feel still that Duro really can't match up to the late game tanks. I mean, there's an M4 that's slowly working the southern flank, and really he should be a little bit more aggressive with it. Yep. But between that, the off-map arty, and honestly, he can still pull in rifle spam, I would think, for Phase C.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2nd Infantry past A phase is just rifle spam, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And Shermans on this map are great because it's so close quarters. Those Mortar 2s can't really do too much, as they can't get at 1.2 kilometer range. Yeah, the 88s are going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but nothing like a good artillery strike can't fix yet.
That is true. Now, we are going to see one of 396 that just got taken out by the 105. And I wonder if we're going to see Vengeance done in the name of love, and I think we will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, never mind. Okay.
Yep.
It was close. Close, but no cigar. Oh. Another artillery strike being called on in... oh, man.
I think it's the last run?
I think it's number 2, actually.
Okay. Damn. But that town's really starting to fold, and especially once the artillery strike comes in. We got more infantry, it's just a Ersatz troop. I've got some grenadiers now, but grenadiers aren't the best in a town fight. So,
I'm not sure why we have 2 ME-109s out in the field. I mean, we have 3 of them, really, but I mean, we have 2 just random ground attack ones. Maybe he doesn't have the other ground attack varieties, but even against a 2nd Infantry...
He's just keeping them on standby, just in case, I guess.
Well, Gabby's dead, so what else do you have to fear?
Other P-47s? And bombers?
Other P-47s don't matter after Gabby.
Fair point. I mean, that 2-star veterancy is just...
He's a beast. Oh my gosh. We've seen him become an instant ace.
Now he's like a carcass on the ground.
He might have survived the crash.
Good point. He might have jumped out just in the nick of time.
Yeah, it's a Tom Hardy moment here.
Another P-47.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? That's why he doesn't have the veterans in the other ones. He's hiding out.
Oof. We got rotary artillery now. 380 millimeters. Gonna be seeing that big bada boom, and it's really gonna come down to the crash and roll. Protosszocker jump in front of a train for you. So he's gonna be forced to be in front of a train. So.
Excellent question. Oh my God! Look at this. This is convoy coming down this main road. Part of me wants to put the Imperial March in edit for this, but I know I'm not going to do it. I can't. Mm-hmm. It's just... But still. That is beautiful.
But the railway artillery dropping down, maybe you can do a counterattack on that town. I just want to know, just look at how destroyed the town is. I mean, I'm just hiding the HUD here and just taking a nice look around, and it is just hardly any buildings to stand in. There's craters, fire, brimstone. I would not want to be in that town, Khan.
That's true, but one would kind of hope that those French people have realized that sometimes surrender is the better idea. So surrender to your primal impulses and run.
Mm-hmm.
But the Americans are bringing in some, let's say, rather good anti-air and anti-infantry platforms here. I can imagine it's going to be pretty devastating pretty quickly.
Yep, we've got 109 down south doing another rocket run, and really on point with Duro with his ground attacks. I mean, it's been doing him quite a big favour this match with planes, and he hasn't even lost to B3, which is quite surprising. They usually die. We used to see like 1 or 2 die in a 1v1.
True, but that's helping really stay competitive with his economy. His economy gets less and less efficient, I would argue, as you get later and later in the game.
For Duro?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a bad difference between Protoss, but I see where you're coming at. I see where you're getting at.
I was going to say, we're not exactly talking about, like, SSB, but... I don't know. Ooh, back to 50-50.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough for Duro, because he still has, 400 points to catch up to, and he needs to get, like, more than 400 points to not make it a draw. So, he needs to get a plus run back, literally right now, and try to aim for that +2. At least we'll, get a +2 for the last 2 minutes. That should just be enough to get him back into the victory. But both sides get an off-map artillery on that town, and don't really see any progress being brought. It's actually probably pretty good as so much as that troop in the town, because they're taking those shots like a champ.
That is true. I mean, those guys are brave bastards. That was the 3rd artillery strike, by the way, for the off-map for PZ.
Yeah.
And another 105 got brought in. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so quite a bit. Not like a huge amount of artillery from 2nd Infantry late game, but we've just been the off-maps. But, yeah, it's just been a bloody knee grinder over at town, which is to be expected, considering both sides are playing infantry divisions. Infantry style divisions, even though 91st is technically kind of like a parachute division, but that's
and the 2nd Indian Head is technically kind of like you said before, a light armored one.
Yeah, exactly. They just like half tracks, but apart from that, they're pretty close. And looking at artillery come down. Don't want to get huge kills because there's not really much there, but
no, it's still.
Now'd be a time to do that attack and try to capture the rest of the town.
But like you said before, what is there to hold?
Not much. Do you want to go at ×2 at 3510?
Sure. I was gonna say, I think at this point it's just gonna be a meat grinder forever and ever and ever. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, and ×2. And now we have another airplane coming on in, more rocket runs coming onto the south, and like you said, these have been on point, although the anti-aircraft capability of the Americans has definitely been retarding a lot of it.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and that's a good play from Protosszocker. You don't want to let Luftlande run around really nilly in the sky, so M15s, M16s, all a good counter.
Last off-map already coming in for DuroSVK, more infantry down to the south, and a 4th artillery piece coming in for the Americans.
Damn.
So the 105s are going to be worth their weight in shells. You realize,
Protosszocker can buy a 105 every minute, so it's pretty easy to get an artillery battery up and going. And now, later game, it's just flak 88s and other soft targets that he can easily kill, and those flak 88s are going to pretty much become useless very soon. I mean, just IG-18 getting completely stunned up here and just killed.
That is honestly terrifying. I mean, you figure one of those barrages takes forever and a day to just fully come online.
Yeah.
But man, oh man.
And this is peak 2nd Infantry play. Like, you get like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know how many you want. You get as many as you want. 105s and just go to town at long range. The town has fallen under red control. Duro finally fully capturing it essentially, and he is in that plus run, but it's gonna technically be a draw. Like, it's gonna be very close in terms of points.
No, but we have another off-map arty here for PZ, so if he starts dropping down arty and takes out even some of his infantry, that's going to swing real fast.
Mm-hmm.
You can see right now that artillery shield is going to stun up that stroke pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
And the M10 in reserve as well, that stroke's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Stug already falling back. He already knows that there's a trap in front. You don't want to be running into artillery. And a B3 up north, going for the Wolverine.
And he gets him.
Gets it, easy peasy.
No healing factor's going to take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the last little dregs of American infantry is coming on in. Oh my gosh, Flak 88 does take out the M10 to the south.
Yeah. That's a pretty good little sniper.
And a very, very opportunistic artillery strike. I don't know if he just doesn't want to put it closer to his own troops or what the deal is.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we're just seeing like the American force coming strong, M4TDs, 76mm gun, and the 105s, as you're seeing, are just wrecking face. Pretty much keeping everything pinned down and stopping Duro from doing any major assaults.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Protosszocker tries to attack, he usually gets strafed or, killed by the airplane, so it's kind of, even back and forth.
Strafed or worse, basically, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Now, the last, I think this actually might be the last dregs of infantry that the Germans have. There's like nothing else to come in. It's maybe a couple Pioneers, maybe a couple Flammenwerfer squads, and that's it. Yeah,
I mean, he's lost all his Fallschägers ages ago, and he's bringing some more Stern Pioneers, but that's really it. But it's enough. I mean, if you run out of infantry with only 2 minutes left in the match, that's a job well done in my book.
True. Well, especially with the air divisions.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, Luftlande does have pretty good staying power, but it's just been like an exceptional meat grinder in the middle.
Now, call it. Who's got the better KD?
Oof.
I'm gonna call Duro.
I'm gonna call Protosszocker for
the controversy.
Exactly.
I mean, Duro's taken out a lot of vehicles, and if you think about it, PC's done a lot of damage, but it's not been against high-value targets. He's been killing a lot of the chaff over and over and over again.
Fair point. I mean, all the Ersatz trooping in Duro's deck comes down to like 240 points. That's 24 squads, but
there we go.
Damn, Duro getting quite a decent kill advantage, 1k.
But not gonna do a whole lot of good for him. History-wise, I'm surprised actually. I have to eat my words a little bit. We did have an M1919 that had 4 kills right in a row within about 30 seconds of each other.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind. Yeah,
that's just surprising.
In a pretty good position. I guess it was good ambush position, and the veterancy and the ranger run makes it just much more killer. And looking at the history, it's pretty back and forth in terms of kills. No real like major breakthroughs, but that's what happens when you got two like more infantry style divisions fighting head on. And
well, B3 packed himself a trip of kills, a hat trick of kills there. Now, the 396s, one 396 definitely paid for himself.
Yep, definitely. Doug W, like that's a pretty good amount. One of everything in that platter. You're right.
He must be a Buddhist.
Exactly. And looking for the kills for the Americans, I mean the M4s, and even like one rifle squad got like 2 Fallschägers, surprisingly. But the M4s are definitely, and also the M15, damn.
Yes, sir.
Infantry. But once again, a lot of the German stuff, I mean, Ersatz trooping are very much just chaff to kill. But yeah, Protosszocker, I think holding that northern side, and just getting that +1 point advantage, even though the town was a meat grinder, just gave him that point advantage and allowed him to kind of just coast for the rest of the match. And it's just a pretty standard meat grinder in St. Mary Glees.
Makes sense. So congratulations to Protosszocker, and again, a big thank you to him for putting this entire enterprise together. Duro, better luck next time to him. Rang, any other final pearls of wisdom for us?
Nope, I'm all out.
Alright, folks, next time we'll be diving down into another match. I won't know which region we're going to, but you guys make sure you come on back for some more. So, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.